It's official. The curse is broken. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It is Ian and Tom with you, as always, for another review of another Oxford United game. Today, the Yellows were finally back in league action. They were at home to Bristol Rovers. So, as we know, this is normally a game that sends a shiver down the spine of Oxford United fans. But here, we've talked about that to death in our preview video, which you can see in the cards in the top corner now if you want to go back to check out how we did. But let's just quickly put the team news on the screen. Obviously, Oxford's team is what we expected. I thought Brannigan may have started, but they went with Liam Kelly in there. But other than that, as we expected it to be, which is a very strong Oxford lineup. The only thing is we haven't played for a long time, so they might be a bit rusty. Bristol Rovers side, they are struggling, as we know. We talked about that. We talked about how the honeymoon period might be over for Tisdale, but they still got Hanlon, who is a threat up front. McCormack is a good player. And they also have Westbrook, who is also a good player for them as well. There are some question marks that we've heard from Bristol Rovers fans about who plays at the back and the team selection they're not happy with. So thank you for the comments there. But other than that, let's just jump in to how the Yellows got on to see if they make it 5 wins in a row in the league.
As are your eardrums.
Yes, thank you, Thomas, for me having to furiously turn down the volume in that edit. But let me just say, as I've been saying on stream, there is a reason why I bought garlic. There is a reason why I bought holy water. There is a reason why I had silver bullets somewhere that I cannot find at the moment. And a reason why I'm wearing a Ghostbusters t-shirt, because the Hoodoo is finally broken against Bristol Rovers. It finished Oxford United 2, Bristol Rovers 0.
Really good game, Ian. I think we're going to do this differently. I want to know how it feels to have broken that Hoodoo. I told you it was going to happen, so I'm patting myself on the back and giving an I told you so moment. But it feels like Oxford are on a fantastic run of games right now. This is great.
It feels great, Tom. It feels this is exactly the sort of result and performance that we wanted. The biggest thing, obviously, we talk about the Hoodoo and the curse, which is pretty much meaningless in the grand scheme of things. But the main thing was Oxford keeping this momentum going as they climb up the league towards where we should be, which is in and around the playoffs. And as we talked about, the fact that we haven't played in the league since we beat Burton, which seems a long time ago, I was personally worried that Oxford might be a bit sluggish and a bit slow. But other than the first 5 or 10 minutes, I didn't see any of that from Oxford today. I thought they were really good. I thought they were good value for the win. Bristol Rovers came back at us a bit in the second half. But I generally thought Oxford were the ones that created the better chances, particularly in the first half. And I felt that they deserved to win the game.
Yeah, they were brilliant. First half, Oxford a lot more controlled than the second half, which is a lot more of a question mark. Quickly walk us through the first half and the goal, Ian.
Yeah, so Oxford really sort of got a foothold in the game from about 10 minutes onwards, really. Oxford were the side that looked like they played football, and I really enjoyed the way Shodipo and Henry kind of swapped flanks, and that worked really well. And I thought Shodipo was a constant threat in the first half. He linked up really well with Long, and they created chances time and time again. There were so many balls we put in the box that caused problems for Bristol Rovers. We couldn't convert it into like chances and shots on goal, but the build-up play was really good. The only sour note in the first half was McGuane went down with an injury. He had to get stretchered off, so it doesn't look good, and so expected him to be out of the side for a while. But every cloud has a silver lining, if you like, because it was the return of Cam Brannigan. He came on and played a lot more minutes than he would have expected to play today, and I thought he looked really good. I thought he looked busy. I thought he looked like he was trying to win the ball back high and press, and I thought his touch looked pretty good, and I thought generally he had a really smart game for his first game back, I would have said. But Oxford, the first goal came from a set piece. We highlighted something that Bristol Rovers might struggle from, and they didn't clear this ball, which bounced around in the box. Ruffles, and it was Moore who kept the ball alive. Moore headed it onto Taylor, who was unmarked probably about 4 yards out, and just prodded it into the goal. The perfect goal you want to see him score, just a predatorial striker's finish. It's where you want Matty Taylor to be. It's where he has been for about the last month or so, where he's been in red hot form. I think that was his 10th goal of the season. And Oxford, as I say, thoroughly deserved it at that point, that they did deserve to go in leading 1-0 at half-time.
1-0 lead, curse is being broken, come out in the second half and seem to spend the first 15 minutes trying to let Bristol City knock on the door.
Yeah, well, it was Bristol Rovers, so thank you for letting us say against Bristol City. But yeah, and give credit to Rovers. They played a lot better in the second half. They had nothing. They had to come out and show something different, and they did. And I thought they played with a lot more aggression, and I thought they pressed Oxford a lot better, and I thought they looked a lot more dangerous, certainly in and around wide areas, I thought. And they created chances. And I particularly remember one that fell to a go-go, where he was really unmarked in the box, and a guy sort of ran into him, and he just volleyed it wide. And there was a good cross that came in, which just avoided the striker as well. But it felt like a side that was low on confidence. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Rovers fans, but that's what it felt like. It felt like what we've seen from Oxford at the early points of the season. Good build-up play, but players look too, rather than they're not relaxed in front of goal. They're trying too hard to score. They know they're in a bad run, and they're desperately trying to get out of it. And they should have got back into this game. And Oxford were a bit lucky at the start of the second half.
And you say credit to them for coming back into it, for playing a much better second half, which a lot of our viewers who were watching with us said they were going to do. But then what happened, Ian? Because I think Oxford got a second goal.
They did indeed, and they were dangerous on the counter-attack, and they played much more on the counter-attack in the second half. But the goal was a shocking bit of defending. From a Bristol Rovers point of view, this was an awful goal to concede, because there was nothing in the game at this point. And Oxford weren't especially looking so dangerous, but it was just a long, and I think it was Rob Atkinson who just pumped a ball forward, aimless ball forward, just clearing a ball. And you've got two Bristol Rovers defenders running out. One of them holds his line, and none of them seem to be bothered about marking Matty Taylor, which is wonderful for us, because Matt Taylor runs in, almost apologetically, scores the second goal past the keeper, looks around, linesman's kept his flag down, and
there you go.
Again, to draw parallels to what we saw at the start of the season, these were two goals that we were conceding in the early part of the season. I can remember a goal against, I think it was against Charlton, or it was against Peterborough, where we were bossing the game, and all of a sudden, I might have got that game completely wrong, by the way, just a punt forward, and Oxford just don't defend it, and the guy runs in and scores, and we were 1-0 down out of nowhere. This is what it felt like. It felt like this 2-0 came out of nothing, and Oxford just were able to ride the game out after that. But there were a couple of scares. There were a couple of scares for Bristol Rovers, for sure.
There were. Now, we don't have a huge amount of time for this recording video, so I'm going to stop Ian from telling you everything that happened in this match, despite the extensive notes he was taking while we were watching it. I will quickly, Ian, before we have to go, let you touch on what does this mean to Oxford's season? How are we feeling today about this? And do you have anything that you'd like to tell Bristol Rovers fans?
Okay. What it means is what I said at the start. It keeps the momentum going. It means that we're not coming back off a break with a drop in points, to a drop in form, or a drop in performance level. We've kind of like picked up where we left off against Burton, which is really encouraging to see. It's a lot of games in a short space of time, and these are important. It was really important to keep that winning run going as we climb up the league. There's bigger tests coming. We've beaten a lot of the sides that are in the lower half of the table. We haven't beaten any of the quote unquote big boys yet, which come later on in the season. But using another cliche, you can only beat what's in front of you. Oxford are doing a damn good job of that so far. I will just say I thought Hanlon looked the best player for Bristol Rovers. He looked the threat. There's no you can see why he's the leading goal scorer. He's the one who looked like he had the bit of cutting edge about him, and he was the one player that made Stevens produce a fine save. He didn't have a lot to do, but Stevens certainly made one brilliant save to keep it at 2-0. And other than that, there were some chances that Bristol Rovers would just, on another day, they would have scored, and I'm sure they'll be cursing themselves for it. Bristol Rovers themselves, what do? I mean, they they're not. I don't think they played terribly today. I don't think they were bad. They were just sloppy, and it's the sloppiness that's just killing them. And as soon as they've got to sort that out. As we talk a lot about in League One, getting that first goal is just massive in so many of these games. And Oxford got it, and then Oxford were able to just kind of boss the game from then on, really, and be in control of it. And it looks bad at the moment, Rovers fans, but I would say you've certainly got the players that you certainly can improve, and I would be surprised if you went down this season, put it like that.
Right, I have to cut us off here. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving a thumbs up. Bristol Rovers fans, let us know below how you see your season going. Oxford fans, boom, boom, boom. Another win, 5 in a row. I think that's 9 undefeated now, possibly more. Let us know how you feel. Please like, subscribe, Twitter us, Facebook us, website us. We will see you Tuesday evening when we do are we going to do a post-match?
Possibly. It's a 7:00 kickoff. I don't know at this point. Obviously, week games are not great for me for filming. It's maybe. It's a big positively maybe. We may see you Tuesday. If not, we'll see you on Saturday. We love you all. Bye.